Shang Tsung is a powerful soul-stealing sorcerer. He is the host of the Mortal Kombat tournament, and is a major antagonist in the franchise. Depending on the media, he could either be the most conniving, charming, menacing person in the story, or he could be the most pathetic idiot that tries to kiss ass to his boss, and is outsmarted by other characters because of how stupid he is.
You're the same manipulating, sniveling sorcerer that underestimates those around him.
Let's find out which one Shang Tsung is in the 2011 game. But before we start, there is one other thing I need to add while critiquing Shang Tsung. And it's one of my favorite things to talk about. The rules of the tournament. There are many depictions of the Mortal Kombat tournament, which all have their own differences. But I feel like there's still some basic fundamentals that each tournament follows. 1. It's a karate tournament. If you win, you move on. If you lose, or die, you're out. However, this isn't a bracket tournament. It's a team-based elimination tournament. The tournament goes on until one team runs out of fighters. If Earthrealm has no more fighters, Outworld wins. If Outworld has no more fighters, then they get to challenge Goro. And if they defeat him, then Earthrealm wins. 2. If fights happen outside of the tournament, the results won't count towards the tournament. This may seem like an odd rule to mention, but it happens quite often throughout the series, especially in MK9. 3. Raiden cannot participate in the tournament. Other than the obvious fact that he's OP, he is also the god of thunder, and only humans in Earthrealm can join the tournament.
Mortal men and women defending your own world.
However, Rule 2 also applies to Raiden. He can fight or protect his fighters if it's not part of the tournament.
You forget yourself, Lord Raiden. You are not to interfere in the tournament.
I was unaware the tournament had begun.
I think the 95 movie encapsulates this perfectly. Every rule I just mentioned is demonstrated excellently. Now with all that out of the way, let's talk about how badly Shang Tsung fucks up the tournament in Mortal Kombat 2011. In Chapter 1, things start off pretty decent. They have an opening ceremony. Shang Tsung explains the rules, and he ends by explaining the most important rule.
If you defeat all of your opponents, you will face one final challenge.
Goro.
Me.
Oh. Okay. I guess in pretty much every depiction, Shang Tsung does turn into the final boss somehow, so they decided to skip Goro and just have Shang be the final challenge. Though I do feel bad for Goro, since he's the one winning the last 9 tournaments, and was the one who defeated the great Kung Lao, which Shang could not. Classic Shang Tsung stealing Goro's thunder again. The rest of the tournament in Chapter 1 goes pretty smoothly, but Chapter 2 is where things get a bit quirky. Sonya tries to free Jax, but is then ambushed by Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung then sends Sub-Zero to fight her, and this is red flag number 1. Apparently, this fight is part of the tournament.
We're not part of your tournament.
On the contrary, you are very much a contestant. You will face Sub-Zero.
So, as long as Shang Tsung says so, any fight he wants can count towards the tournament. This would have been very useful in the 95 movie.
Your sideshow freaks attack my fighters.
Nah bro, as long as I say so, they fight.
You will face Sub-Zero of the Lin Kuei clan.
What is going on here?
She then tries to challenge Shang Tsung, but Raiden stops her. Why does Raiden stop her? Is it cause in his visions he sees Liu Kang succeeding? So it has to be him who defeats Shang Tsung. Maybe you only get to challenge Shang Tsung once, and he didn't want to give that opportunity to Sonya. Or maybe he thinks Shang Tsung is too strong, so he just wants to help Sonya escape. Who knows, all the above perhaps. Then Sonya fights more people, and the chapter ends. So, I have a genuine question. Did all that actually count towards the tournament? I know the game makes it feel like it is, with how Shang Tsung portrays it.
You will face.
But there's one bitty issue. Sub-Motherfucking-Zero shows up again later on in the tournament, when he's supposed to be eliminated. Well, perhaps that means all the fights in Chapter 2 don't count towards the tournament. But then why did Raiden feel the need to pop out and stop Sonya from fighting Shang Tsung?
A challenge?
No. You will not be the one to challenge Shang Tsung.
It's not like the results are going to matter. No one's gonna get fucking eliminated. Whatever, I shouldn't lose my mind yet. That part comes later. Scorpion is next, and he takes down Kung Lao and Nightwolf. Then he fights Sector and Cyrax.
A challenge!
What? Why is Scorpion fighting two people at the same time in a single elimination tournament?
Rules state that it must be single combat.
Why isn't Raiden calling out this bullshit? And second, aren't they on the same side? Aren't these the Lin Kuei assassins that you hired Shang Tsung? Do you just have that much money to spare? Let me play a clip from my Scorpion's Revenge Sucks video.
Quan Chi, your warrior from Netherrealm. He's proving to be quite formidable.
Yes, that warrior of yours, who is killing my Lin Kuei ninjas, is doing such a great job. Except in this story, Shang Tsung is the one that pit his own teammates against each other.
A challenge!
Then Sub-Zero shows up to fight, despite the fact that he's been eliminated from the tournament. Or maybe this fight isn't part of the tournament. Shang Tsung never called it.
A challenge!
Maybe people don't know Sub-Zero husband eliminated, and Shang Tsung just wants to go with the flow.
Wait, didn't I already beat Sub-Zero?
Hush, Sonya Blade. This is very important to the plot.
I will say, despite this also being a case where the same team is fighting each other, I do think this one is more justified. Scorpion's whole motive for being in this tournament was to kill Sub-Zero. So him fighting Sub-Zero is basically his payment for helping out World. But this next chapter is where things really get ramped up in Stupidville. So let me give the TLDR here. Shang Tsung wants to kill off Cyrax because he thinks Cyrax won't do his job, and his presumption of this is because
You were speaking with the Thunder God. Your indiscretion has jeopardized my plan.
How much of a triggered snowflake do you have to have someone killed for talking to Raiden? You know who else was talking to Raiden? Scorpion. Don't see you sending people to kill him. Actually, maybe this is why you pitted Scorpion against Cyrax and Sector. Wait, you were talking to Raiden too? Guess it's time to game end yourself. Mr. Shang, I feel like I need to have a serious talk with you on how you love wasting money. Since you tried to kill off a fighter that you paid for, let's look at the worst outcome that Cyrax could do. Cyrax could show up to fight Johnny and immediately forfeit.
I yield.
That would be the exact same outcome if you had Cyrax killed. These aren't bracket rules. It's not like Johnny will move up in the tournament. It just means Outworld will have one less fighter to fight. So just let your warrior that you paid for fight anyways. Still be more of a net positive than not having him fight at all. But of course, Shang Tsung wants Cyrax to kill Johnny Cage, and that's why he doesn't want him to fight. Who cares? Your job is to win the tournament. Who cares if Johnny dies or not? How badly do you want Johnny dead? Were his jokes so cringe that you want him to die?
He got caged. That's it. Oh yeah. I'm so pretty.
Just have Kitana kill him later or something. You're so obsessed with killing Johnny that you tried to have Cyrax, who you paid for, killed. You have been doing nothing but actively trying to sabotage yourself in this whole entire chapter. And to top it all off, if you really didn't want Cyrax to fight Johnny, you could have done something way easier. You could just remember.
Remember me. Do you remember?
Remember that Cyrax has already been eliminated from the tournament by Scorpion. Cyrax eliminates Johnny from the tournament, doing his job and helping Outworld one step further to victory. And Shang Tsung looks angry and annoyed. You are a literal man-child. You are here to win the tournament, and now you're pouting because you didn't get to see Chainsaw Man cut up Johnny. Actual spoiled brat. Ultimately, the reason why Shang Tsung is adding these new rules is because he's trying to stack the odds in Outworld's favor, and this is something he does throughout the series all the time. But almost everything he's doing here is fucking
goddamn ridiculous.
Like, just look at this. How is this not heavily favoring Outworld? And the funniest thing is, barely any of these turned out to be actually useful to Shang Tsung. Forgetting that Sub-Zero and Cyrax were eliminated from the tournament should be very helpful, but Shang sent Sub-Zero to fight his own teammate, and he tried to get Cyrax killed anyways. The only actually useful thing Shang did were the 1v2s, and that only worked out because nobody was smart enough to call him out for it. We're almost done with the tournament. Let's hurry this up. Later in the tournament, nothing really unfair happens, except for another 1v2. And this time, Raiden should have called it out, cause Liu Kang was on his team. Unlike Scorpion. But maybe he just really trusts Liu Kang to be able to handle it. Or he just wants to save time. Then Liu faces his next surprise challenge, Goro.
What's a Goro?
From the final boss of the tournament, to a surprise secret boss that has never been mentioned up to this point. Shang really just keeps stealing Goro's thunder. They literally switched. After defeating Goro, Liu Kang faces his final challenge. And beats him.
And whoops.
In the original Mortal Kombat game, Shang Tsung will change into different fighters while fighting the player, but he doesn't do that here. Now, this may seem like a nitpick, but Shang Tsung actually does this when you go up against him in the arcade mode. It just adds a little more flair to make his encounter more special, and they don't do that in the story mode.
You disappoint me.
And finally, we are done with the MK1 portion of the game.
Yeah! Well done, my friend.
Holy shit, that was a mess. Shang Tsung gets taken to Shao Kahn to be punished, and for a desperate attempt, Shang Tsung comes up with the MK2 tournament, a rare Shang W. He actually comes up with the main plan of the next part of the story. Wait. Oh no. Another tournament? That means more rules for Shang Tsung to fight up? No! Luckily, the story focuses less on the tournament, and Shao Kahn takes over as the host for the most part. Guess Shao Kahn learned his lesson from the last tournament. Shang Tsung also looks younger now, because Shao Kahn gave him some souls to suck, and it's a reference to his MK2 look, though I personally think he looks better when he's older. Things start off pretty normal in chapter 6, then in chapter 7, Smoke faces both Reptile and Shang Tsung, and beats them. It's okay Reptile baby. This video is about Shang Tsung. I won't mock you.
Too good for this world.
Shang didn't just get defeated by Smoke. He got defeated by Smoke with an extra partner. That is extra pathetic. Later, Kitana finds Shang Tsung in the flesh pits. By the way, Shang Tsung did create Melina, so that's another W for him. He gets defeated by the housemate. So let me be clear. I don't mind when characters lose in the story mode, but when you're trying to set up a strong character in your narrative, especially when he's the final challenge of Mortal Kombat, I don't think you should use them so often for fights. Each of their losses make them feel weaker. And this goes for you too Goro. Take Shao Kahn for example. I think they do a good job making him feel threatening, because you only get to fight him 2 times, and both times are key moments in the story. Even Sindel, who has that moment, makes her presence very threatening, because you never fight her up until that point. That impact would definitely have lessened if you could kick her ass early on. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with losing, but when you're setting up the final challenge of Mortal Kombat, and this champion has never won a fight in this story mode, that ain't it chief. Later, Kung Lao fights in the Colosseum, and faces both Shang Tsung and Quan Chi. He beats them. Kung Lao has defeated the final boss of MK1 plus Quan Chi, yet he loses to Scorpion in the tournament, which means Scorpion was the strongest fighter Outworld had, and unintentionally. This is how I felt from a gameplay standpoint too.
You're pathetic! You're so pathetic, Shang Tsung. You too, Goro. The strongest combatant here was Scorpion and Quan Chi. I think Scorpion was harder than both of you combined together. Fuck this tournament.
Now onto the MK3 portion. Shao Kahn takes Shang Tsung's soul to power up Sindel.
And just like that, Shang Tsung is done! He's out! That's it! Pathetic! Actually pathetic. That's all Shang Tsung does.
And that is the end of Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung got fridged to power up Sindel. Mortal Kombat 2011 was my first exposure to the Mortal Kombat franchise, so I legit thought this is how Shang Tsung was in the entire series. A useless old man that makes up a bunch of rules on the fly, talks big but can never back it up, and fails at pretty much everything he sets out to do. It wasn't until Hiroyuki Tagawa's portrayal of the character did I realize that Shang Tsung can actually be a really cool character. To wrap this up, I'm going to bring up one more thing to insult this sorcerer. In Challenge Tower number 300, one of the hardest challenges in all of Mortal Kombat history is called Endgame. With just 1 health bar, you must face Shao Kahn and 3 of his strongest warriors, Goro, Quintero, and Melina. The creature that Shang Tsung created, who never fights in the tournament, and also never wins a single fight in the story mode, is chosen over Shang Tsung. I legit mean it when I say this. This is the worst depiction of Shang Tsung ever.
I do not fear you. I pity you.
Bitch.
Say it.
Betchy, 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 betchy.
Enough!